Okay, good evening, everyone. Tonight we have a sessions with Sri KDU. Okay, I understand that some of you may have attended last week's webinar, also by the same Sri KDU, but today is a different Sri KDU. It's the one that won the award on this the Gold Award for the International School Quality Mark. And so we are honored to have Mrs. Margaret Rafee, the principal of Sri KDU International, to be with us. How are you, Mrs. Rafee?
I'm great, thank you, Vincent. It's so nice to be with you this evening.
Thank you. So, all right. Can you enlighten me a bit about this, the International School Quality Mark? Okay, this is the first time I heard about that. Is that a very special award? How many schools in Southeast Asia has actually got this award?
I think there are about 26 schools in Southeast Asia that have this award, but there are only about 6 that have the Gold Award, which is the highest standard of the award. And it's a quality mark that comes out of the UK. It's run by the Educational Development Trust. And in order to get the award, you have to have inspectors come from the UK to evaluate your school against very rigorous standards. And only after they've done that do they give the award.
Wow, congratulations. And you are the first one in Malaysia to got it, right?
Yes. So that was back in 2017. We were the first school in Malaysia to get gold. We've since been re-accredited, and that was only in February 2021. And of course, because of the pandemic, it all had to be remote. So the inspectors were remote in the UK, and we were on remote learning at that time. So everybody was in different time zones and only connected by the technology. So, but they were still able to see the quality of the lessons, to look at how we do things. And they were very satisfied that even in this challenging time, we've managed to sustain the gold standard.
Okay, that's good to know. All right, so how different is Sri KDU from the one that we had last week? So I think I'll leave it to you first to make an introduction about that. I'll bring up the slide for you now.
Okay.
Okay, I got the slide up now.
Okay, so, well, the Sri KDU Schools group have a lot of things in common, but they also have some things that are distinctive amongst the schools. So Sri KDU International School was started in 2011, and the new school in Klang is fairly recently opened. And I think the difference is our school is much more a traditional school in that we have been established for this next year will be our 10-year anniversary. And we very much focus on being a British international school in Malaysia. We, of course, use digital technology, but that's not the whole ethos of the school in the way it is in Klang. But I hope in this presentation to really help you understand what's different about Sri KDU International School compared to other international schools in the area, rather than necessarily the differences between our sister school in Klang. So this just shows the location of the school. I don't know, Vincent, if you want to talk a bit more about the location of the school or whether you want me to do that.
All right, so basically this is at Kota, Damansara, okay, which is about less than 20 kilometers on direct distance from straight from KLCC, okay? But there is an MRT station very near to your school, is that right, Mrs. Rafee?
Yes, just 100 meters.
Okay, so it takes about 5 minutes or 10 minutes to walk to the MRT station. Is that right?
Once you get out of the MRT station, it would take you about 1 minute to walk to our school gates.
Okay, so so which means that even if you are not familiar with the road system in Kuala Lumpur, as long as you are living nearby to MRT stations, you can always get to the school without any hassle. Okay, just
Yeah.
get off from the Kota Damansara MRT station. Okay, so this is one of the best location I can see for international school in the perspective of public transport. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's very convenient. And our teachers who come from the UK love it too, because they can get straight on a MRT line and into KLCC when they have their off time. So it's really good.
That's good. So, okay, I'll flip the next slide now.
Okay, so this tells you what we're all about as a group and as our international school. The vision, transforming lives through education, is for our whole group. We all subscribe to that. And we transform all lives, not just the lives of the students. Of course, we transform students often from being very shy, hesitant students to being really confident young people. But we also transform families and communities through the service work and the partnership work that we have. The Malaysian Hearts, I was just going to say the Malaysian Hearts Global Minds is for all 3 KDU schools. And it's one thing that makes us a little bit different from other international schools, because of course we want the global minds, but we also very much think about the fact that we're in Malaysia, and whether it's the adopted country of expatriates or whether it's our own local students, we want them to understand the values of Malaysia as well as having a global mind. Okay, we can go on now. So these quality marks, I think, are important because they give confidence to parents. I, as a principal, will always tell you that the school is wonderful. In fact, on the last slide, it said my aspiration is for the school to be the best international school in the world. But how do I prove that? I prove that by getting memberships and quality marks that are very rigorous. And we've already talked about the ISQM Gold accreditation, but I just want to mention FOBISIA, the Federation of British International Schools in Asia. And only the top schools in Asia can be part of this organization. It's a very prestigious organization, and only for British international schools in Asia. So I think that's an important one as well. It gives students who come to our school the opportunity to interact with other students from all over Asia. Next slide. So this is just a snapshot of our senior leadership team. I have a wide range of senior leaders who help me to reach that aspiration of being the best international school. They're all highly able, highly experienced, and most importantly, in an international school context, very stable. Many of them have been with the school for many years, as I have. I've been in the school as principal for 8 years. Okay. So this just gives a curriculum overview. And the good thing about our school is we have the primary school, the secondary school, and a pre-university program all on one campus. So it's a very smooth transition from one to the other. And this is the exact curriculum that you would find if you were sending your children to the UK. So a lot of expatriates, they move around the world. So if a student came to 3 KDU International School and was in year 7, and then by the time they were in year 9, for one reason or another, the parents were relocated to London or Birmingham, they would be able to slot straight into a school because we're teaching the exact same curriculum. Next slide, please. So this is something that makes us unique. You won't find this in any other international school in the area. It's something I brought with me 8 years ago from London, where I was a head teacher for 10 years. It's a way of teaching that enables all students, whatever their abilities and starting points, to have a growth mindset and to achieve highly. It's based on the work of Professor Guy Claxton, and you can look up his books if you're interested. But the important thing about it is it isn't just about getting good academic results. All of those character building things, being curious, attentive, determined, they are what make our students lifelong learners. So not only will they leave our school with excellent academic results, but they will be set up to be resilient in a VUCA world and actually respond to whatever changes life throws at them. It's the golden thread of what goes through our school. Next slide, thank you, Vincent. So our primary school is a very happy and high achieving school. Part of the reason it can be so happy and have such a family feel to it is it's much smaller than our secondary school. And that means that everybody is known. Every student is known by every teacher and by the head of primary. It nurtures curiosity and builds those foundational skills that help students achieve later on in school. My head of primary calls it a school with a heart, because making the students happy is just as important as the academics at that stage, because we want them to become thirsty to learn and happy to come to school. Next slide. As I've already said, the curriculum is just the same as it would be in the UK. And our teachers are 100% UK trained teachers and expatriates from the UK in the primary school, because all of those subjects, English, math, science, computing, geography, etc., they're all taught by one class teacher who then knows the students very well. Only our specialist subjects are taught by specialist teachers, and I would say that we are renowned as an international school for the quality of our Mandarin teaching. Our Mandarin teachers are really highly qualified, and our students really succeed well, whether that's in first language Mandarin, second language, or modern foreign language. Next slide, please, Vincent. So at primary level, more than any other, it's about developing the whole child. So we have a broad range of co-curricular learning, and I call it learning, not activity, because it is all about the learning. And this happens in the school day. It happens as part of the school curriculum. And the primary students, we base it on engage, experience, expose. We want them to try things that they wouldn't normally try. So they're not allowed to choose. We give them artistic and active things on a carousel that they experience. Okay, next slide, please. There are also extracurricular activities which happen before school, lunchtime, after school, and all that long list under the blue, they are free. They are not extra charges, because our teachers, our dedicated teachers, volunteer to do these above and beyond their normal duties. There are a few outsourced CCAs, as you can see under the orange. Chinese drums and Chinese yo-yo are very, very popular. And they are things that are charged for additionally, because we pay expert coaches to come in and teach the students. Next slide. So as I've already mentioned, it's a flow through from primary to secondary. And 100%, almost 100% of our primary students flow through to the secondary school. But then in year 7, we also get around 60 students from different countries and different schools who join us only for secondary. And we're very good at making sure that all of the students blend together, whether they're coming from our primary or whether they're joining us new at secondary. In the secondary school, it's 50-50 expatriate teachers and local Malaysian teachers. And that's because certain subjects can be taught by expatriates and other subjects would be taught by Malaysian teachers. We also, in the secondary school, because our motto is tomorrow's leaders here and now, have a very special, unique leadership development program, which is for all students at Key Stage 4, not just for selected students. Next slide, please, Vincent. This just tells you about the curriculum subjects, and I'm not going to go into that in detail. They are the normal subjects for a British international school at Key Stage 3, which is year 7 to 9. Next slide, Vincent.
Yes.
Okay, and the same at Key Stage 4, there's a broad range of subjects. The difference at Key Stage 4 is some subjects are compulsory and some are elective, but there are more than 21 subjects that students can choose from. And the problem that they have is they can only choose 4. So the difficulty is making a choice, but we think it's important to give a broad range of subjects for them to choose from. And next slide, Vincent. So co-curricular learning is just as important in the secondary school. Holistic learning continues to be important. And on a Wednesday afternoon, the students, again, within school time, completely free, have lots of different co-curricular learning clubs and activities. The difference at secondary is they can choose. We think they're more mature. They've been exposed to a lot of things in primary, so we let them choose which kind of activity they want to do for a term, and then it rotates. Next slide, Vincent. This again just shows you the wide range of extracurricular activities that are possible. At secondary, we also have cheerleading and debate and fencing, some of the things that are more suited to secondary students. And the difference is we also have clubs and societies. So the secondary students can do the Duke of Edinburgh International Award. We were very, very sad at the passing of the Duke of Edinburgh very recently, and very proud to offer his award in our school, which is part of being a British international school. We also have the Leo Club, which is a service club, and it's linked to the Lions Club, which you have many of here in Malaysia and perhaps in the other countries that people are coming to for MM2H. Okay, next slide. So now let's get on to the academics, because no matter how much people profess to be about holistic learning, I know that parents still want to know that their children are going to get excellent results, because that's what's going to give them the opportunity to go on to higher education. That's what's going to open the doors for them next. And we are a highly academic school. But we get these fantastic results for students with a wide range of abilities. We don't just take the very able students. We take students of average ability. We take students with different challenges in their learning, but we make them all believe that they can get A stars. That's what our growth mindset's all about. And many, many students who join us with little English or with average results end up with these fantastic results at IGCSE. Okay, next slide. These are just the results from the last November series. And I think what's special about these results is that the students took these exams having had from March 2020 on remote learning because of our lockdown. So we still managed to train them and prepare them to get excellent results. Thank you. Next slide. These are just some of our top in the world. Cambridge, they identify the students who get the top marks in the world and the top in Malaysia. So 1, 2, 3, 4 students there. One from November 2020 got top in the world for Mandarin. And that goes back to what I said about our Mandarin teaching being outstanding. And the other 2 top in Malaysia, they were for additional mathematics. And that is a tough, tough course. And I know how much Asian parents particularly value mathematics. So we're very proud to have got that top in Malaysia for additional mathematics. And the other one is for design and technology, which is not a subject that many people are familiar with until they come to an international school. But it shows the balance of our school. We can get top in Malaysia for a creative subject like design and technology and for a traditionally academic subject like additional maths. Next slide, please, Vincent. So this is our pre-U program. I'm not going to go into all of the detail because you can find out more about that by speaking to our IBDP coordinator. But the IBDP is recognized all around the world, and students can go to the top universities in the UK, US, Canada, Australia, Hong Kong, Singapore with the IBDP. It is actually better known around the world than A-levels, apart from in the UK, of course, where it is a very A-level driven country because A-levels are British. But even the elite universities in the UK are now recognizing that IBDP is a better program. Next slide, please, Vincent. I think I'll just skip this because it's very detailed. It's about the kind of subjects that students have to take if they're doing IBDP. Okay, next slide. And just like I showed you with our IGCSE, with IBDP, we get the best results in the world. This is 2020, and the maximum number of points is 45, and very few students in the world get 45. But actually in 2019, one of our students got 45. But we're also very proud of the students and the number of students who get 35 plus. Because with 35 plus points in IBDP, you can go to the best universities around the world. So even the less able students who join IBDP, we can get them good scores to go to good universities. Next slide, please, Vincent. Okay, and this just shows you some of the universities that our students have gone to. You'll see the University of Melbourne there in Australia, Cambridge, I'm sure everybody knows of, UCL, British Columbia in Canada. And then, of course, there are some good universities, but not those top ones, which are more accessible to students who get between 35 and 38 points. Okay, next slide. I'm now going to just flick through quite a few slides which show you photographs of our facilities. But I really, really encourage you to come and visit us because now, if you're in Malaysia already, we can now have guests to have physical tours by appointment. And that is the best way to see our facilities rather than photographs. But let's skip through them. Yeah, so they're just the music room, normal classrooms. We have 2 art rooms in the secondary school, 1 art room in the primary school. We have a library in the primary and a library in the secondary. Have lots of sports facilities. Next slide, please. I'll dwell a little bit on this because we are on a campus with 3 schools. So there's our international school, and then there are 2 national curriculum private schools. And so altogether on the campus, which is huge, there can be just short of 3,000 students. But
would there be occasions of which students of all 3 schools actually participate together?
No, they don't, Vincent, except we share these common facilities. So the students in the international school don't share any lessons or teachers or activities with the national school students. But in normal times, and I say in normal times, now in COVID times, we are keeping to each to our own schools because we have self-contained schools on the campus. But because of the economies of scale, we're able to have these fantastic common facilities. The multi-purpose hall is the biggest thing I'd ever seen when I arrived in Malaysia 8 years ago. You know, we could have a whole campus assembly in there. It's so big. We have lots of really big things in there. But at the moment, because of COVID, we're not sharing any facilities to keep everything very contained. That's a completely full, oh, I do apologize. That's my Big Ben clock.
Yeah, 3 minutes ahead of the time, which is 10 o'clock.
Okay, so we've got a huge field and we've got a huge swimming pool. Of course, we can't use those at the moment, but when we can, we're really looking forward to being able to go back to normal. Next slide. These are some of the other awards that we've achieved either as a school or individually. And I just want to spend a little minute on the International School Award for the Community Initiative. Now, this is something throughout the world. International schools throughout the world can apply for these International School Awards, and all the top schools apply. And in 2020, we were nominated out of 250 plus applications for the Community Initiative Award. And only 5 schools got nominations. And the last travel that I did was to go to London with the student who led this community initiative and her mother to the award ceremony in London. Sadly, we didn't get the final award, but just to be nominated was an enormous achievement. And that's a great achievement because it was community-based. So it's about our transforming lives through education. And it was student-led, entirely student-led, not led by teachers. Okay. These are just more achievements. And we actually hosted the World Scholars Cup for Malaysia in 2019. And next slide. And these are, again, just more achievements, but of students who've now gone on from our school. And I think Hans Jung, if we get back to having ASEAN Games and maybe even the Olympics, not this time, but in the future, we could see Hans there as a fencer. And the other student got a special internship in a company because of his great achievements. So what makes us different? Why choose us? I think one of the most important things is we have a really great value for money proposition because we offer the same experience and the same education as tier 1 schools who charge 2 or 3 times our fee. We're only a tier 2 school in terms of fee, not in terms of quality. Also, we are really focused on languages, and your children really need to have languages to survive in the global world. So excellent Mandarin, excellent Bahasa Melayu, excellent English and French. You can get best of both worlds, so a Malaysian or Asian values type culture and a very British approach. Also, the learning-powered approach that I talked about is unique. It's not in any other international school, and it has impact. That's what gets us those fantastic results and turns out such wonderful students. It's continuous from primary through to pre-U, and it is a center of excellence for academics. I think they're the things that really sum up why we're different. Okay, and the final is just about admissions. We don't believe that very small children, so year 1 to 3, should sit down and do a test. So their entrance is just by having an interview and a talk with our head of primary. And the word interview really is far too formal. It's just a little chat to see if the child would be able to access. For all other levels, there is an entrance test. But again, it's not an entrance test to stop people from joining the school. We don't just take people who score the highest in the test. It's just so that we know where children are, so that we know how far we have to push them to get to the very best results. And all of our contacts there, you can contact our marketing team, and they would be able to tell you more about the admissions process. And I think, I don't know how I'm doing for time, Vincent, but I think that is me done. Yes. I might have rushed it a bit too much because I thought I would not be able to get through all the slides in the time available.
Well, you're doing very well. So we are, I gave you exactly about 29 minutes to do the presentation, and yeah, it's just below half an hour. Okay, so before I end it, let me just share the screen on your website. Okay, because I understand that some of the parents who are keen may want to take a look how to get more information. Of course, you can contact the admissions and marketing site. You can also get to a virtual school tours by visiting these parts, of which there are 2 YouTubes on the primary school and the secondary school tours. And if you need more information about the admissions, just click on that, and there are fee structures, and also I think there are calendars as well. Should be somewhere. Okay, so a very detailed website, and if you need the link, we can post it later. Any questions from the crowd? If there's none, we may call it a day. We have actually just run past 10 o'clock for a few minutes. Thank you, Mrs. Margaret Rafee, for a very detailed presentation. I'm actually now I understand that why you are one of the top schools in Malaysia. Okay, for both IB diploma and you mentioned just now about the British curriculum as well. So is there a lot of students who actually finish O-level and then go straight to the foundation studies in various schools, various universities?
Yeah, yes, there are a number that leave us at year 11 and go to the UK to do their sixth form studies, and some go to foundation degrees in universities here in Malaysia, British universities. We've got the University of Nottingham, Heriot-Watt. We've got a student who's gone to St Andrews for foundation straight after IGCSE. But then there are also students who stay with us for pre-U, and then they go from there to their higher studies all around the world.
Okay, thanks a lot. I think we are good for today. Most of all, I'd like to thank Street KDU for the support and Mrs. Margaret, Rafee for such an enlightening evening. So, all right, so tomorrow we have another sessions, and then on Friday, but not Saturday. Okay, this Saturday, because it's 1st of May, Labor Day, we will be reserving that day for the internal events with some of the second home residents who happen to have the new home recently completed. So we'll be hosting some internal events for them. So for everyone that is interested to know about what is the latest development on Malaysia My Second Home, we are still keeping our finger crossed for the cabinet meeting today. We hope that there are some good news for us. But nonetheless, we'll be announcing we will be actually convey the message by the official announcement of the government if and when they announce it. Okay, so thanks a lot once again for joining us, and we'll see you again tomorrow night. Thank you, Miss Margaret. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, as you see, this is the building of Prince.
Famous medical center in Malaysia, which is Prince Court's Medical Center. I think the second largest hospital group in the world at the moment.
Yes, in the world. As you see, this is the building of Prince Court from the front of the building. So many years we won many awards. If you see here, last year on 2020 from GHT Global Health Travel Awards, we won Best Hospital in Malaysia for 2022 and for 2020, and Best ENT Service Provider in Asia Pacific 2020, Best Pediatric Service Provider in Asia Pacific 2020, and also Best Health Screening Service Provider in Asia Pacific 2020. We are the best of top 10 hospitals in the world, where only 2 hospitals from Asia, one of them is Prince Court Medical Center. We have so many international patients came to our hospitals from United States, United Kingdom, even from Middle East and Africa. We also have a lot of patients came from Somalia, Bangladesh, India, and also from Southeast Asia, such as Indonesia, Myanmar, Brunei, also Australia and New Zealand. Our hospital is in the Golden Triangle of Kuala Lumpur. It's the center of Kuala Lumpur. When you come to our hospital, you can easily see the landmark of Kuala Lumpur, the Twin Tower, and it's only 10-15 minutes walk to the famous Pavilion Mall and also tourism area Bukit Bintang, where you can find a lot of things, a lot of restaurants, a lot of malls to buy souvenirs. Our hospital is designed with 277 single bedded only. We don't have like 2-bedded, 3-bedded rooms. All rooms are single bedded as like VIP. When you walk into our lobby, you won't feel that you are in the hospital. You will be feel like in the mall or in the hotel. You won't smell anything like medicine or hospital smell. You can smell like a coffee smell because we have coffee bean on our lobby. Yes, this is the room. You can see the view is Twin Tower, the landmark of Kuala Lumpur. That one is our standard one. But in some countries, this kind of room is VIP room, but to us it is standard. We also have the VIP and VVIP rooms, where the highest one contains 3 rooms that have meeting rooms and also dining rooms, and also the bathroom have bath tube. Yeah, if you can see, the standard room is only 280 ringgit. So 280 ringgit is very cheap compared to 5-star hotels, and some more you will get not only breakfast, but you will get 5 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and also 2 coffee breaks. Prince Court, now we have more than 39 specialties. It's counting, it's going to be more. And then we also have like 17 treatment centers and also medical services. We have 80 outpatients clinic, 10 operating theaters, and 24 hours emergency. So no worries, if you want to come to Prince Court anytime, we will be there for you. Here you see is our core specialists: general surgery, orthopedics, urology, obgyn, pediatric, heart, respiratory, and ENT. And also our subspecialist is orthopedic, cancer, nephrology, and burn unit. We are the only private hospital that have burn unit in Malaysia. And this is also our fertility center. A lot of patients from China and Indonesia looking for this fertility center, fertility treatment. Hospital is not only for the sick, but also for the health. So that's why better to check your health and come to hospital when you have time, when you're still in good health. But here, you just see what age you are. Hospital will suggest you to take that health screening package. This is our new service to our patients because of this current pandemic. Sometimes a lot of international patients, the new patient or existing patients want to come and see our doctor, but they cannot fly in to Malaysia, cannot get permit to come to Malaysia. So we have this new platform, eHealth, where you can chat with the doctor or you can consult. Chat is free, only like for 10 minutes. And if you need a consultation, you go to eHealth, make appointment. From the consultation, you can get a doctor certificate if you cannot come to the office, and also can get prescription from the doctor. And also you can send any medical report to the doctor. Example for our tourism package, we did previously before the COVID came. So people came here for 3 days, 2 nights, for example, and they can stay in a hotel here. Prescott Medical Center is PCMC, but our core value is a patient-centric hospital. We are caring and empathy, and we have multidisciplinary subspecialty hospital and also cost containment. I mean, even though we look like 5 stars, 6 stars hotel, but the price, if you compare, if you know, in Malaysia, hospital in the same cluster with Prince Court, we have like 6 other hospitals. But among the 6, our price is not the highest. Our price is the moderate. Why we know? Because every year, insurance company will do like so-called audit. They will tell me, they will tell Prince Court, hey, Prince Court, look, your price is this high, low. Another hospital is this low. Can you adjust the price? So we will follow the market advice lah.
You can select which specialist that you want to actually engage. There's also the eHealth online consultation, which they can also make use of it to make appointment, right?
Yeah, but for this eHealth consultation, not all 150 doctors. It's only selected doctors.
Free to contact Visa. There's contact details.
You can contact me anytime. It's 24/7 for you.